right, thanks. We'll call the meeting order at 7:01, Wednesday, September 24th. First post-summer meeting of the Library Board of Trustees. First item on the agenda is acceptance of the Secretary's report. Is there a motion?
We accept it.
Seconded.
Great. Discussion. So thanks, Amy, for covering the chair on that meeting.
Anytime.
I'd forgotten I missed it till I went to read the minutes. Okay, if there's no discussion, we will go ahead and vote on the motion to accept the Secretary's report. Laura?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Susan?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Amy?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
And a yes, that passes unanimously. Very good. On to the next. Acceptance of the monthly staff reports. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, discussion on the staff report. Reports.
I guess I have this question. It's been in these reports before, in the reference to the Aspen Discovery layer. I take it that's a software what layer
Yeah.
for the catalog.
Yes.
Okay.
And this is it.
Oh, sure, okay, it's the one.
So the
you see
catalog
on the
just looks
website.
a little different.
See the website.
I know it's out of our control, but has there been any feedback from patrons?
There's not been anything like tremendously negative. There's been some people who were like, I like the old one, who just don't like the change. But for all the trouble that we went through and everything with it, I think it's been a pretty good response so far. So we're planning on doing some training for patrons in October.
Awesome.
Once we get better under control.
Sure.
We're the early adopters.
Oh, this was
We
rolled out.
went before the rest of Noble.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, a few other people, Reading did.
Reading and Danvers.
A few of us did. It's almost like we were waiting so long, we just didn't wanna wait anymore.
Sure.
Cause whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen later, so we might as well deal with it now.
Yeah, get people coming off the summer. Let them get used to that now. Very good.
So I still there's about Cat Lewis resigning. Moving on to a new position, or did she say much about it?
So it was a personal decision. And we put out an ad and have had good response already, so. Yeah, it has to, we have a union, so it has to be posted for 14 days. But we've had 9 or 10 responses.
Any internal candidates interested? Any internal candidates that are interested?
I don't know yet.
Yeah,
Which
nothing
is
yet.
why you give 14 days.
Oh, so you don't even look at the
Because it gives
before-
people, the chance to, if they're internal, it gives them 14 days. So it's,
And so was that her last day was September 15th, or was that when she entered it?
Yeah, the last day was the 15th.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
I know a lot of
Please go ahead.
a lot of this is covered in the reports, but just since it's been whatever this year, like summer overall, so that there was positive feedback to the adult programming, any just I know comments of classic jazz being a little lower attendance and the
right, College Jazz was a little lower. We haven't looked at all the numbers yet. We haven't met to go through everything to see. The youth room met briefly to just identify was there anything that really went wrong, which they didn't find anything that went really wrong. For the most part, the numbers that were lower were offset by the fact that we had more people saying how much they enjoyed it. So it was kind of, and when you get lower numbers too, you never are sure why. Did more people travel? Were the
think a number of them were because it was inside.
I was gonna ask you if you track that separately.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't track it separately, but I was able to go back and look, and I think there were at least 3, possibly 4 that were moved inside, and those numbers are always much lower.
Every time I had the opportunity to come, I looked at the forecast, and it's like a coin toss every single time.
people really prefer it, it's outside.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
There are diehards that will come no matter what.
Mhm.
One night they had to run in, they got caught and had to run in.
there were 2 or 3 nights that were very hot outside, very
Yeah.
hot, and, it takes the pleasure out of it.
It does, and it doesn't really help to come inside because there's so many people.
Right,
The ceilings are so high, the air conditioning doesn't help.
Yeah.
So on those really, really hot days.
Yeah.
That's gonna be something we're gonna have to consider. Hi. What to do on those really, really hot days, cause that's a different kind of bad weather.
Related to that, Inspire was a noble experiment, but not to be repeated, is that?
Probably not,
Yeah.
unless we did it in another way, if we looked at another way. But I'm gonna speak with the Friends.
Okay.
I do have an appointment, this week with one of the Friends to talk about, events.
Have either of you met with the new town administrator?
An event, I just,
October
today.
6th.
It's a
9:30 on the 6th.
9:30 on the 6th, yeah. So, no, we haven't met, but, we will,
Yeah, very good.
and it seems very positive for everything I've seen, so.
I believe we're all invited.
I think so, was that, I wasn't
That was kind of a blanket,
It
maybe
was-
committee volunteers.
Yeah, appointed or elected volunteers, yeah.
I'm not sure
So
what
I was,
she's gonna
is
get.
that did that include this group? I'll send the email, you got it?
Yeah.
But did everybody
Yeah,
get it?
I
Oh,
got
you
it
did,
this
okay,
morning,
okay. so
Yeah,
it
I
doesn't-
think we got it from Sherry last night.
Okay, good.
Oh, okay. I feel less bad about not remembering it.
It will be interesting to see whether that's, 7 people or 70 that show up, because that was a rather broad invitation.
In a small room.
In a short time frame.
Yeah, so I have the sense it's like in and out, maybe, yeah. Very interesting.
I think 5 o'clock in the afternoon would be better than 9:30.
But she has already called a meeting for department heads, so I'll do that. And you can go by Zoom or you can go in, so I can go in.
I think I got that email.
I can do that.
So this isn't directly related to the staff reports, but the email you sent recently, Catherine, about the Wi-Fi hotspots. We bought our own, we don't use,
I said that today, yeah.
so that's just to emphasize that these cuts are reclassification. I'm not fully understanding what was going on there, but that's not going to impact what we have on hand. Right?
No, it may impact some of our decisions though. The FTC is behind something called E-rate, and Noble has been looking into E-rate because you get money from the federal government for certain computer stuff. And hotspots are one of them. And for many years, libraries in Massachusetts didn't participate in E-rate because you had to filter your internet access, and the filters were not good. But the filters have improved, so there are 3 Noble libraries who are testing filters. And if the filters are good, we may decide to apply for E-rate. It's a complicated application process, but Noble would probably help us do it. And MPLC was encouraging us to join E-rate because it is money that would come into the state from the federal government. But all of that is very up in the air.
Yeah, that was cool.
And it's so complicated to do the E-rate thing, to qualify for it, that, to put all the effort into that and then find out they're just gonna cut the program.
Do we have a ballpark of how much the E-rate money might be worth, or is it really variable?
It was really variable, especially seen through the, like, overseen by Noble.
Okay.
Yeah, where it would help Noble is in a single computer line that benefits everyone, so it would reduce our assessments. So we wouldn't necessarily see it in a, well, you would probably see it in that assessments wouldn't be growing year over year. You know, like your cable bill,
Right.
the cable bill goes up, it wouldn't go up. So there would be an effect there, and if times are getting tough, that, you know, you're looking for every dollar you can get, but it's just difficult to look at the federal level, to look at money there, because it's like, it's a little bit up in the air, so.
A little bit.
Yeah, but that's why I said that, because
Yeah.
I know we had talked about E-rate before,
Yeah.
and it did just come out that,
What is filtered, what do they require to be filtered?
to be filtered.
Is it just that sort of obvious stuff, gambling, sexual material, and stuff like that?
Yeah, the idea is that in a perfect world, it's filtering things that are legally pornography, that there's a Miller rule, that things that match that. And I guess you could kind of control it to say, you could do different levels of how you wanted to do it. And you can whitelist things and blacklist things and let people override it if you wanted to.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I was going with it, who decides what gets filtered?
Oh, in the filtering company, when they do it, you mean?
So E-rate is requiring that we use these filters. Who decides?
Not these filters, they'll allow you to use whatever filter you would like.
Okay, so
Which
they're
is,
not-
which is why the libraries are testing them.
And the library would have some control over that. So it's not, they're not prescribing what you can and can't allow patrons to see, is that correct?
Right, but it does sort of hit on, you know, it's using keywords and things like that. So the chances of it stopping medical information when it doesn't need to is, those things still seem to be happening.
Sure, I'm more concerned about someone deciding to mean to filter things that we don't necessarily agree should be filtered.
Right, that they decide what's, yeah,
So
Yeah,
if
because
we have that control.
because libraries are not gonna agree to that.
Very good.
And who from your staff would actually end up filtering your technology?
With the what?
Who from your staff would have the burden of looking at these filters and, you know, I'm sure that would be extra hours, right, if you're adding something new.
I don't know, because we haven't said we would do it yet, but.
No, but if
Right,
you-
but yeah.
It would
in
probably
theory,
be referenced
It would
with
be referenced, they would be on the hook for most of it, just because they're right there with the public computer.
Well, it's actually who's ever, the people I've heard who have found the most have been library directors, because they've been on and they're getting blocked. So they look at what it is and then they figure out, was this legitimate or is this really something sketchy? The advantage to filtering now is that it can protect you, because you can use it as a, you can block bad stuff, bad actors. And it also can enforce our policy that already prohibits, you know, certain content that is offensive. And if it works, that's great, but we're just not sure it works yet.
And then these filters are run by some third-party vendor, is that true? What do they do with the data that passes through the filter?
I don't know how that works. But the consortium standard is very high for privacy.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
So it's, we would get all those details
Very
if we were gonna use it. I don't have the details because we didn't volunteer to. We're just getting through the day right now. We're not taking on the filter thing.
And you and your staff for years have a great track record of all that, just a natural poke at stuff like this.
Right.
Thank you.
So Noble is very trustworthy with that. They keep us on our toes. confidentiality and privacy and all of that.
Okay, anything else folks want to talk about in the staff reports?
Is this the talk about the friends as well? I think you're on the presentation. Is that a big discussion?
That's under committee reports, yeah.
Okay, if we're all good there, we'll vote on the motion to accept the monthly staff reports. Laura,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Susan,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes,
Amy? You're muted, is that that's a nod.
Yes, sorry.
rough line.
I couldn't find the button.
Very good. Scott,
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, that passes unanimously.
Who would abstain?
Public participation? I see none. Double check the counter on Zoom, we're good. Correspondence, I saw one very nice letter. Two of our fan favorites, Plaza Jazz and Tech Help.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so thanks to the staff for helping out with all of that. Moving on to the committee reports, budget.
I don't think there's anything new on the budget. We finished 25, we're in 26, it's progressing well. The gifts and grants haven't been rolled over yet in newness in the town reports, but we have our own documents and we're okay with that. And we qualify for state aid next year, so we just signed off on that.
Excellent.
So by next meeting or so, I'll have a draft. I've done a couple of drafts and they're all routine. I'm not seeing anything new yet.
Very good. And also in here was a notice about the November town meeting. We don't have any, we're not expecting any.
We don't have anything on yet.
Very good. Moving on to building and grounds.
There's nothing on building and grounds. We got new access and it works. That's awesome. It's awesome. It's really good.
Is that building access or insurance?
It's what?
Yeah, it's internal and it's just for the staff doors. So it's the external door like to the parking lot and the staff room and all of the offices that used to have keypads on them.
So all the external doors,
Nope, just one external
Just
door,
one.
just the staff entrance.
Yeah. What was replaced were keypads.
yes, right,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Exceeded their useful life.
Right, every time someone.
Only around thanks to Dave, who would
Take
go up
them
in the
home.
ceiling and undo all the wires and solder
Don't tell
the
me
circuit
that.
board and everything. Cause we couldn't get replacement parts for them because they were so
Yep.
old.
Every time I hear more about Dave, he's like swinging from the ceiling.
I know.
Yep, so he's also very happy to not have to do that.
Yes. There was something about HVAC in the staff report now that I'm thinking about it, because there's some work on that over the summer.
Maybe.
Yes,
Was there?
yes, one of them went down,
Oh, we cleaned oils.
cleaned coils, but there was also some repair work on one of them.
But it was on one of the rooftop
Yeah.
units, but it was not on the one that's gonna be replaced.
Okay,
So it was money well spent.
very good. And IT glue, that's kind of an ongoing
Is the dream
adaptation.
come true?
It's a dream come true, it's an ongoing process.
Yeah.
But yes, it's solving a lot of problems.
It's a lot of work to set
It's a
up.
lot of work to set up.
I keep meaning to carve out time to ask more about that. If I reached out, could I get?
Come in and we'll walk you through it.
Very good,
Oh, I'd like to.
Yep.
get back.
very good.
Front steps look nice.
Yes,
Yeah, good job.
I don't think they were quite done at our June meeting, because they just.
No,
said
they were
those
missing the
Yeah.
one layer of bricks at the top of it, yeah.
They're not brand new, they're reinstalled, and I like the look of that. If they were brand new, I think it would be a little stark looking because the rest of it's old.
Good.
Yeah, so it's nice use of the original granite.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Okay, if there's nothing else on building and grounds, we'll move on to the Friends.
I went to the Friends and it was the same night as a Galvin back to school night, so both people who were on call did make it, and I said, don't worry about it, it's the first night out. So I added it to my treasurer's report so I wouldn't forget. And it's that their balance is about 85,000. It includes a $10,000 donation that they got from someone in town, which was impressive. They funded us $28,600 for programs, museum passes, and the document center. Their current membership is 367 people, which I still think is low. And they're starting to get to the point that they've been low for so long that it looks good, because they're only going back so many years, and the other years where it was higher is beyond their chart, so I'll talk to you about that. They did discuss meeting with the new town administrator, like before she even sits down, about the use of the herd. So I don't know, they want clarification on that. I think if it were me, I would feel like you're opening the door for someone to say, okay, I don't know what this is, but you have to get out. Because I think it's a liability issue, but we'll see what happens with that.
Maybe you should just buy it with all the rest of his funds.
There is no money left to renovate, you know how that works. You have to have the money to put in new floor and everything.
Typical one.
So, and the last thing is that one of the members asked to meet with me to discuss their work on potentially doing different kinds of events. And I spoke with her today and we're gonna meet on Friday. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Great.
So I know that I'm up for the next meeting, but that clashes with what was Bill Carlos, and Lovely Sculpt is my alternate, and he's swapping in, and I'll do November 5th. We're also set for that.
Okay, thank you. So moving on to gift funds.
There's nothing new in gift funds either. Just the regular, there were many reports in here because it was the whole summer. And I didn't just give the single report, I gave them all for the, but they're fine, they're doing well. And, that's it, about them, I think.
Very good. Legislative advocacy, we're just coming up on budget making season. Beacon Hill, is that right?
There really hasn't been anything that,
Calm before
the
the storm.
ebook thing is on hold, and there was something else about, sort of a freedom to read thing, like no book banning kind of thing. And I think that might be in committee too, I don't remember now, but everything's kind of treading water right now.
Yeah. Personnel, we talked about one person moving on and opening a rec. You also hired pages for the year since last we talked, right?
And that's a new format, we do that every August. If you're already working, you can reapply, but especially for teenagers, it allows them to readjust their schedule every year, rather than just hold the position and never come.
Yeah.
So it's been working out really well. It's been 3 or 4 years we've done it this way now, and it works really well. So, and Megan's got a new training system with Patricia Adams, who manages pages from circulation. And they've got a whole new training system in place that really gives the kids confidence in what they're doing. And they can do the entire building now. We used to do sections, like kids would get sections. When I say kids, there are adults that do it and they tend to work during the day, and the kids work after school. So now everybody does more all over the building, so whatever has to be shelved gets shelved when it needs to be. So far, so good.
Okay, and under that, we have a subtopic of some old business, updated evaluation.
Yes, so Personnel Subcommittee met last night with the purpose of discussing and formulating a new evaluation system for library director. We're a committee of 5 now, because I asked if Scott would come back, because this is it's kind of a big task, and we wanna do a good job, and we need all history and future, and a lot of people looking at a lot of stuff. What we came to last night is, basically, we are gonna formulate a yearly, evaluation. We haven't decided on times or any of that, but we do wanna make it concise. We wanna make it completely, addressing everyone's questions and needs and issues that came up from the last. So we want to kind of condense, but specify what exactly we're talking about. We talked about the fact that we need to look at, we're not the library director's manager, we're the manager of the library, looking at the whole system of how it works, and she's in charge, Catherine's currently in charge of that. So that's kind of a mindset that we all have to start with. To that end, that's about as far as we got. We hope to have in the January meeting, have the evaluation presented before the committee, for the full committee. That might be optimistic, but we have set 4 meetings, subcommittee meetings, one on October 15th, one on October 27th, November 17th, and December 1st. So we just wanted to get some dates on the calendar that the majority of the people could, and again, the subcommittee is a little bigger, so we will have quorums. Hopefully we will have quorums for all of them. And if we find we need more, we will kind of fill them in as we go, but we have those 4 set. So that's about it. We're looking at a lot of the Library Commission's website gives a number of different evaluations. We found some other evaluations. We're gonna look from out of state and try to kind of see what we want. Big areas and what specific questions. Probably like a 2 or 3 page instead of a 15 that we had last time. I think, a lot of it was redundancy in the first evaluation, a lot of things that didn't apply, and it just ended up being more confusing. So we hope this is more valuable to Catherine and valuable to us, and I think it's gonna be a good direction.
Awesome. Great, well, thanks to you and to the whole committee for diving in on it. Sounds great.
And
Anything
we
else?
need those dates posted,
Yes,
so
I'll send it,
get a message
because
to
we're gonna do it earlier, so I'll send you that.
Okay.
It's
Stephanie.
open meeting means that we did take notes.
Right.
And we filed them, but it doesn't have to be filmed, is that,
I guess not, because she didn't send
Okay.
that.
unless that happens,
And what you'll do is approve those minutes at the next meeting.
Yeah.
And then we'll release them.
okay.
All right, very good.
And thank you to Karen for,
Yes.
Karen, you have a computer, can you take notes?
That is it for the committee reports, unless I missed anything, no, okay. On to new business, FY26 action plan status.
I included that in the packet, and pretty much what it says is that everything we had on our list to do is currently in process. There's one thing that we've moved. The determine community need for and interest in an event for children entering kindergarten. It appears that we don't need that anymore because of Doyle. that, so if they do something, it might be something a little different from that. But everything else is, either something has been done and more will be done. I have a couple of things in parentheses here, like programming included a walking book group, and there will be other things that will fulfill that. So we're in good shape as far as what we set for ourselves.
So I guess I just wanted to comment about the may not be needed in part due to oil, because I think a small section of the town's kids go to the oil, my kids certainly did not. And we felt, when my daughter went into kindergarten, that, kids were going off to the Dorset, Woodville, Greenwood, they were in other towns, she was the only one that ended up going to the Dorset. So I would have loved, a way to.
What year was that?
That was, she's in 7th grade now, so. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we did do it for a few years, and when they looked into it this year, it didn't seem like the demand was quite there. So that's another one of those things that we don't have full data on it yet, and we need to look at. But for this year, we saw that we weren't gonna do it. And maybe what they need to do is tweak it. There were years when different children would be going to different schools, and that's sort of how. There's one year Nancy Sheehan did it, and she found out from the school department who was going to which classes, so she could get those kids together beforehand. And then subsequent to that, the schools were doing something similar, so that need wasn't quite there. So it's possible that we could tweak it, but we need to look into that.
Catherine, I have a question on it's objective 3. It refers to the preservation
Okay, that's for
assessment.
the next one. That's for FY 27.
Oh, okay, you're right, I'm
That's,
sorry.
yeah, that's all right, that's connected. I just wanna make sure you're done with this one.
I'll remember to ask you.
Yeah.
Yeah, any other comments on FY 26? Very good. Then, yes, let's open the floor for FY 27. This is a draft, is that right, Catherine?
Yes, and if you approve it, this will go to MDLC.
All right, comments, questions on,
To go back to FY 26.
Oh,
Sorry,
absolutely.
I was typing and I missed this. Under objective 2 for FY 26, there, it looks like there's like the broad objective with nothing below it. No, sorry, goal 3, objective 2.
Goal 3, objective 2.
The focus marketing efforts on communication channels and deliver optimal results.
Yeah, we had no actions for that for this year. That's part of the strategic plan, and we had actions last year, but there isn't anything for this year.
so the way you have this broken down is traceable directly back to the 5-year plan.
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you.
Oh, no, quite all right. So, good question. So FY 27, comments, questions on the action, the FY 27 action plan, excuse me.
Okay, well, that's my question. Objective 3 refers to preservation assessment report.
Yes,
Does that exist yet?
yes,
It does.
it has, and I knew someone would ask that question.
Oh,
So it was this, we got a grant and we had a professional evaluate the status of how we were caring for archival things.
Yeah.
And she prioritized recommendations that we should do. And you can have that.
I'll pass this on.
You can pass it around, or you can have it if you want. So we're taking those things one by one and making sure that we're doing them all.
Okay, good.
And a lot of them have been done, but anything that we've missed, I wanna kind of, so that we don't forget about it.
Uh-huh.
You know, you get a report like this, it goes on the shelf and you maybe don't
Yeah.
look at it again. So I have it on my bulletin board to make sure that we hit most of those things if we can. One of the things that she wrote into that report was that the roof should be repaired. And part of the reason she wrote it in there was that we could get the money for the roof that we ended up getting.
Very good.
So, because that helps protect everything that's in that.
Yeah.
key to preservation.
Yeah.
Yeah, building filled with paper and electronics.
So
This is.
looking at objective 2, and around there, talk about marketing efforts. I know that we've talked on and off about Facebook, and Amy and I were talking a little bit yesterday, about how all of the surrounding town libraries have a Facebook presence. And how, it's been up to the friends to post things like, oh, library, Jazz is gonna be inside today, which is great, but at least it's on that, but it seems a little bit odd that it's not coming from the library. So, just to maybe put that back on the table.
Yeah, so we made a decision, I don't know how many years it took, 3 years?
I think it was longer than that.
Okay, could have been longer than that. We evaluated the costs and benefits of Facebook. And as time goes by, I am really confident that we made a good decision. Because there are only so many people in this building, and it really is, I think we need, you're not reaching as many people as you think you're reaching with Facebook. And the algorithm changes constantly. And it's really designed to be like a cocktail party, like a social club. It's not meant to say we're closed today, or and what we're building toward, and we're not there yet, but what we're building toward is to get people, we have far more people on our newsletter than we ever had on social media. And we're working toward getting people to use the website, that's where you wanna go. And that's what the town is doing, and the town's had really good luck with their website, and they have a single communications manager, and we're working with her. So the idea is that this is almost a 3-year plan to rebuild our brand so that it's very recognizable, to rebuild our visuals so that they're very recognizable, and then to update our website so that it can be more easily used by everyone in the building. And what we wanna focus on is content that people will want.
And I think social media is very good at feeding people to the website, right? Because, you put things in the Wakefield community groups, like the mothers group, I feel like we do have these groups, that are focused on the community, that we do see a lot of other news, you see, Jonathan Shine's posting, summaries from the town council meeting, I love those, they're great, I don't have time to sit through 2 hours worth of that, unfortunately. Just a point of view.
Yeah, I know, it's a very common point of view, my point of view is not popular. The other directors don't find it popular, the staff don't all find it popular, except the people who, you have to look at, if you're doing that, what are you not doing? And what you're doing, who is that reaching, and what are you getting from it? When you have volunteers from the Friends who will get information from us and do that, that's wonderful, because what they're replacing is personal, it's not under my watch. So, I'm looking at, when you're taking pictures on the plaza and making videos and everything, what else is not getting done? Because there's only so many of us. And we have kept Instagram so that we're able to do those kind of things on Instagram. And then eventually maybe we can just post those on our own website.
So I thought that Instagram and Facebook were linked, so you could have, if you posted it on Facebook, it auto posted to Instagram.
They are, except you can. But the differences are in the way that people work with them. And you're not getting the comments in quite the same way. The other thing I heard is that there was a problem with a town that was fined for copyright infringement. And they posted something that somebody sent to them. So they didn't even create it, but somebody else had sent it to them and they passed it on. And they were fined for the copyright infringement because the image was not, there was a copyright image. So there are other complications too that make it's, you're not thinking about one person and a social situation. You're thinking about an organization trying to speak with one voice and all of the people who might have something to say to that organization and not be speaking to a person. And I think we want a person. If somebody has a problem with materials in the building or with someone they worked with in the building, that has to be, I want you right in front of me. I want to have that conversation. I don't want to have it in that space isn't suited for that.
Right, cause you could turn off the comment there.
Well, we can't, which is another thing. Because we're a government agency, we have to play by certain rules. So we're not supposed to take things down. We're not supposed to, I've heard mixed things about that. But the library world, it was an attorney from Worcester who works for libraries. And she said you can be challenged because you're a public library, you're not supposed to take the stuff down.
So you say you do use Instagram now?
We still do use Instagram.
So and library handles that piece? Because like the example of like we're closing today for something, so that would be on Instagram,
Do we put that on Instagram?
something like
I don't
that.
know, I think we decided to not do
I
that.
think it just goes on our website.
I think it's just on the website. When we put those kinds of things on social media, people just ask more questions. And if we're closing, we don't have time to answer questions on social media.
We don't have time
Well,
to
it's
answer them
not
even when we're not.
Yeah.
Well, the idea
It's
of like Closet
complicated.
Jazz is gonna be something, if there was something, I don't know, I feel like Instagram, you're absolutely right, Instagram, you don't get as many comments.
Right.
So it's meant, here's the information, I mean, I feel like that's more informational. I feel like, I think different age groups use different things because,
And it
you know, we go
changes.
to
And it changes.
personally, we go to Facebook to find out about other people, you don't necessarily reveal yourself, but you're like, it is a social thing, it's like, kind of like reading some, like, you know, some newspapers. But there is a fact, like, I don't know, like if something's going on in the town, you don't know, you look, you can find right away, like what's happening that day, if there's like an accident or something like that, so it's used for different things, but I understand that it's not really,
Yeah,
because
it
it goes in a
divides-
way.
if you realize, if you think that you can get the information all those places, number one, it doesn't always send it to you. You would
Right.
have to look for it. And sometimes it's fairly ephemeral, so it's not really there.
Right.
And because everybody is not there, you know, when we look at the numbers of people who are our Facebook followers or whatever they are at any given time, it changes. Those people, they're not as numerous as the people who get the newsletter by any stretch of the imagination. And a third of them are probably libraries.
Yeah, but there were also bots.
Oh,
too.
right, then we had the bot thing. Oh yeah, the bot thing was bad. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. Oh yeah, there were AI bots that
Yeah.
were, and those were a problem.
So between that and like the misinformation and stuff was really, those were the two things I think that
I
kind of
forgot
set
about
that
that,
up.
I put that out of my mind.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I would-
Misinformation out of the library.
Yeah.
This kind of an issue.
That's right, and we have no control over that, and we need to be able to control our information, so we just feel the best way to do that is through our website.
Yeah, you put something that's for children and families and it's followed by something that's problematic, you know, it's
So
we just don't have
would-
control of it.
I would agree with the Facebook, because you could say Closet Jazz inside, and then the third comment down, people want these kind of books. So at the minute you say library, people don't read the whole thing anyway, you know, any heading, and then they just, you know, so. But if it was a pertinent thing, even to like direct them to the website, I think Instagram is kind of the quicker maybe to do that. To kind of cross over the people.
We do have a Facebook page that's still up, because it was recommended that we not take that down because someone else could take the name and do something with it. So it's there, but it says, go to the website, we're no longer.
And it has the link to the website, and it says we're no longer posting.
Well, so that's good,
Yeah.
that's
I would
good.
say from a marketing perspective too, like if you don't have the bandwidth to support a social media channel, then it's just it's an invitation for some of the bad things that could be spun. I think, and I think the things would be, I know Scott would have a different perspective on this from a comms perspective, but you could post this stuff on Facebook and Instagram, you have zero control as to whether it gets to the intended audience. You have more control with the newsletter, and you can track the metrics better too. So I think, I suspect people would be surprised by whatever the face, I'm sure like before you made this decision, you were tracking the metrics, and I think people would be surprised by how low the engagement actually was for the effort that you were putting into it.
We've had
That's exactly what,
like, there's been no feedback from patrons really,
you know, and we tested it first by doing it for a summer.
a couple years ago.
We did a summer break just to see how people would like that. When we first did it, I got letters from people thanking me. Not a lot, but a few, and I never got any complaints. So it really is kind of social, it's not really a business tool. And I did do a lot of experimentation with friends and family. My sister is a die-hard Facebook user, and she does do some really fun stuff on it. And she's the kind of person who should get our stuff. So we would send it and I would say, did you get this? And she was recording what she was getting and how many she would get and what she was getting from the libraries, and she would experiment with what she did, and I would ask her, did you see this? And she was not getting as much as you would expect her to be able to get, so. And there's somebody who, you know, has liked the National Archives and genealogy sites, and she's the perfect person that you would think would get library stuff. So if I couldn't get it to her, I'm thinking, how do I get it anybody else?
Does the newsletter go out on anything but email? It's delivered by
It's delivered by email.
just email?
With just email, we don't mail a physical copy.
Okay, so.
No, but there's usually something on the website that's actually, there's a copy of it on the website, is there?
Yeah.
The last one.
There's a link on the website to read
Yeah, there's a link on the
the
website.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah.
Instagram's also more of like it's just like the come look at the cool fun stuff we're doing platform these days. So I think if you have information covered via newsletter, website, like Instagram, I like the pictures you all have been putting up there lately and the videos. It's really more for engagement, in my opinion. It's like Plaza Jazz pictures and Buzzy and things like that. Like that's perfect for Instagram because it still has like comparative like frivolity, whereas Facebook has just become kind of like a giant unwieldy beast.
A little bit. You know what's frustrating about Facebook too, this is the last thing I'll say about it, is that my phone will tell me whenever there's a comment. And invariably, someone has a comment, they're asking a question, I'm the only one who sees it. It's 11 o'clock at night and I don't have the answer, because I'm the director and I have to call a librarian to figure out what the answer is. So people are, if in that case, you have to have somebody answer you, and we're just letting people down.
I don't think most people would expect an answer to that being a line from a business.
You don't think what?
I don't think most people would expect an answer to that being a line from a business, right?
They ask, if we post.
I mean, they might ask,
So,
but
yeah,
you
so
reply
if
the next day,
if
like,
we
that would be
post-
reasonable.
if we post that we're closed for a snowstorm, so within seconds, it's gonna be open tomorrow?
Well, they'll tell you tomorrow.
And you just feel like they're letting people down because we can't answer in that way consistently well, so.
So another topic, the objective about the series of after-hours events, are you envisioning partnering with friends and or other groups for that, or is that, am I way off base?
We'll probably start with friends and then see what kind of ideas we come up with. I don't even know how often we would do it, but if we did it more than once, if we did more than one thing, we could attract different audiences. My son had an invitation to an after-hours event at his local library, and it was for back to school, and it was for families. So families had they had a back to school night, it wasn't called back to school, but it was after hours at the library, they served pizza. And then when they got there, they were showing school-aged children what was available at the library for like to do your homework and then they had cornhole and whatever else. So and it's a different building than this, the whole structure's a little bit different, but the idea is to have something for families and then another time have something for adults, and then another time, you know, just come up with ideas that are and see how that would work.
Very good. Any other comments, questions, concerns?
So this needs a vote to approve it being sent to the state.
If there's no further discussion, I'll entertain a motion to accept the draft FY 27 action plan. Second?
Second.
Barring any discussion, we will take a vote on the motion to accept. Laura?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Susan?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Amy?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, that passes unanimously, thank you very much. I'm excited about this, staff trustee meet and greet.
Well, it's an idea and you can decide whether or not you wanna do it. But people were on both sides of the aisle have mentioned, we don't know trustees, we don't know what people do and what librarians do. So my idea was to have a meet and greet in place of the October meeting. And you could pick the time, it doesn't have to be now, it could be earlier, just a couple of hours. And it would give you an opportunity, part of what I had in mind was, you know, refreshments, lecture hall, break up into groups and you could see the treasure room, you could go to the penthouse, tech services, yeah, you could see all the places you haven't seen before and meet some people. And they could see faces, so when you're checking out a book, they know you're a trustee.
I'm very much in favor. I'll tell my own embarrassing story. There was some kind of activity here. There was a fire truck and some emergency vehicles outside the library, so I stopped in to see what was going on. It was like after hours on a Saturday or Friday or something like that, so late but not so late. There was one staff member here, like at the door. She said, "Oh, we're closed at the moment." She's checking to make sure it's okay. So, "Oh, you know, we've never met. When did you join the library?" And she said 3 years ago.
I know exactly what you're talking about with Amanda. The night that she had to stay late that Friday. Oh my God, it was like 6:30 when we got out of here, yeah.
Ouch. That's embarrassing, but yeah, so I'm all in favor of this. In fact, I thought this might be because of the.
It was actually well before that we started thinking about it.
Yeah, people have, like I said, on both sides, people have mentioned it from time to time.
Good.
You know, I don't know,
It's, yeah, cause it's a
Everybody
weird
knows
thing sometimes
Chris.
when you're like checking out the, you know, you're in your chit chatting with some, and sometimes my questions might just actually maybe deviate more towards like, what a trustee would ask, but they don't have the context requires this person to be asking, you know, like, they, how do they know, but I don't know, so it would be nice to put more names together.
Is there a time that will, an hour of the day, a day of the week, when most of the staff is here already?
it doesn't make that much difference, does it?
No, there is no time when we're gonna get everybody, and there are very few times when we're really gonna get most
You
people.
have to close the library to do it anyway, so.
No, we
after
don't.
hours.
I don't think we have to close to do it.
We'll
No.
kind of take turns
We'll
and shifts and
we'll
stuff, just
rotate.
rotate out.
Yeah,
If that's not too much of a burden on all of you, that's.
I'm just thinking, these are hourly, mostly hourly employees, so
Well,
getting them here.
well, for hourly employees, actually, this year, we can pay anybody who needed to, we needed to. But we do this from time to time and it usually works out. People,
Oh,
either they won't come because they can't, they have another obligation or whatever, or they'll make
I think a lot of people are interested and they will make the time.
Sometimes
especially
we
if feed them.
Sometimes, especially if we feed people, and sometimes we do this thing called flexing. So if somebody comes in, if they're gonna stay an hour later, they'll come in an hour later and somebody else covers them or whatever, we flex a little bit.
Good.
And we do have the money this year to pay people if we needed to pay somebody to come in. Like maybe we can entice Dave to stay.
the famous day.
I mean,
Because
I
Dave-
believe the staff would like to meet the trustees.
Yeah, they want to.
And I think we would feel better, eyes on and
Yeah.
conversations and getting into, the relationship that we have with the building and the work there.
Good.
Yeah,
So it's at the end of the day, like a 5:30 on the Wednesday work better for the staff or?
It would, we weren't sure, with work schedules with all of you, if that would be possible to have it earlier.
so the meeting date is scheduled for the 22nd of October. So if we did that Wednesday night, or that Wednesday, you could pick whatever time you wanted that you're available. If we did it, if you say you went 5 to 7, and you couldn't come till 6, it'd still be.
Yeah.
I don't know, how's that work?
Make that work.
Get a meeting.
So you wanna try that 5 to 7, or is that too early?
No, I think that's appropriate.
Probably
Yeah.
fine, yeah.
I will be sadly out of town that week, so I'd say do whatever's best for the group. I think it's a great idea, but yeah, I'm gone most of that week.
So we'll get you here.
Yeah, you'll come in
today.
for a personal, meeting.
Individual meet and greet
Yeah.
for, that'd be great.
Yeah, and a little
Just work the
too long.
room.
Yeah,
We'll put your face on a stick.
That'd be great. Yeah. Make sure I'm there in spirit.
You can roll the screen out.
Can we vote on that? Can we vote on that? Can we put his name, face on a stick?
We're definitely doing
I'll make a
We're
motion.
definitely doing
that. We're
that.
definitely doing that.
Motion to have Scott's head on a stick during the meeting. Any seconds? Are there any seconds?
Is there, in terms of, I love this idea, I think it's great. Are there other ways for the staff to feel better? Like, do you feel like the staff feel comfortable at bringing their things to you to review to then bring to the trustees? Like, we get the reports from the different department heads, so like that's like, I hope they know that we read that and like really appreciate that. It might be interesting too, just like in advance of this event, to like ask them what kind of questions they might have. I don't know, like it could be some really just like, what do you all do? Like, why do you do what you do? Why, like just, that would kind of help us, I think, too.
Yeah, we'll ask around and see how people want. My initial thought was to break people into groups so that they could travel throughout the building. So when we talk about that, people might have ideas as to how to do that. Scavenger.
a scavenger.
Could we look at highlighting a different staff member each month in the monthly staff report? Like just a little, I don't know, person of the month, like here's their little bio or something, just so over the course of the next year.
Yeah, and it's also possible that people could come in to talk about their projects the same way that they do for the summer program.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to burden anyone and make them have them, like that they have to come in after hours or whatever, but it would be nice.
The people who are already here, yeah.
Yeah.
So if the meet and greet would be 5 to 7, would we then have sort of a mini trustee meeting after that, since that would be our regular time?
I don't think we'll have to.
I don't know.
Yeah, so if something comes up, if there's business that has to be attended to,
Yeah.
I'll let you know that that's what's happening, but I'm thinking that we're gonna be okay until November. And then in November, I'll have the budget and have, I'll probably have direction by then on the budget and everything too.
I feel like we usually skip one meeting in Q4 anyway, so, that would be fine.
Yeah, I think it will be okay. I still will post it.
Okay.
Just to be on the safe side, but we won't be discussing any business or taking any votes. And it will say that on the posting. It's just that you'll all be relatively in the same building at the same time, so it probably should be.
Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Staff could reasonably ask us about, trustee related business, then we'd be covered.
So the public could come in the meetings too.
Yeah, highly unlikely.
Yeah,
I think,
But,
cause I think if they wanted to, they would say something and we would set up something separately for that. It's never been a hot topic, cause you're not causing any problems.
Okay, we don't need to vote on
I don't think so, if you're all agreed, then that's what I'll do, I'll schedule that in October.
Okay.
Just going back a little bit about the potential other events that you're organized with the friends, is this sort of more, I think the idea of community building, or is this in the realms of fundraising, or maybe both?
Maybe both. It's also up in the air, I don't know, what would work. But hot topics now are, social health, that's a big new one. And, even United Nations is into, or World Health Organization is into the idea of social health, mental health, physical health, and social health. So we have, we can do the social health thing. And I've been reading about how to have, how to connect and how to throw a good party. In some instances, throwing a good party relies on not inviting everybody, but being careful who you invite so that everybody was comfortable together is, like those old fashioned dinner parties where they would have just the exact number of people kind of planned. So those kinds of things are interesting.
And place cards with people's that.
So do we need a seating chart?
I'll make it.
Oh, I'm sure you will. Yeah, and it will all make sense, Okay,
All right, anything else from the packet we need to discuss?
The email. Which one, the town email?
getting a town.
Getting town email?
Oh, no, because I didn't hear anything from it. Oh, so I asked the town about whether or not you all should have town email instead of personal email, because if there's a Freedom of Information Act request, which is unlikely but not impossible, it's never happened, but it could, it means you're gonna have to dig through all your email. So if you have a town address and there's a request, town IT would go through that email and you wouldn't have to.
I like that.
So I like it too, but it means we gotta put a ticket in.
I put in a ticket today, so we'll see where that goes.
Awesome.
Cause I'm sure it won't be at the top of the list because there's a lot going on over there.
Like a deli ticket.
It's sort of like,
Yeah, it's like number 1665.
For a virtual paper ticket,
Interesting.
So you mentioned the IT blue, and it seemed like you guys knew what that was all about, but either I've forgotten them or Could you just give me a quick?
Yeah, so it's a
asset manager.
asset management that we started using in June 2024. So it's keeping track of all of our IT equipment, but we've also been able to make it work for tracking other things like subscriptions that we pay for and sort of stuff like that. So we've really been able to tweak it for our needs and we're using it for a lot more stuff. Prior to that, we just had spreadsheets of things that some things were on this one and some things were on this one. This just all makes it so much easier.
So it's an app or a website?
Yep, it's a website, yeah.
it's a, yeah, you pay for it. And this is really worth paying for. We're gonna probably put the building stuff on it too.
Yep.
So the fact that the roof was done in 2024, that's all recorded, you know how long the warranty is and everything. Because right now there's a closet that I dig through.
Yeah, it's your closet and Dave's brain, and it's,
Right, so we're trying
that's
to
not
get
all
all that
reliable.
put together
No, I
and
know,
into
with
a,
each day that passes,
into a
it's less
place that
reliable.
other people can get it and, yeah, so it's a work in progress and
And
a
it will
lot of work.
send,
Right.
it will send you
Sends reminders when
reminders
things are
that this
due.
is, yeah.
Yeah, we also added something called My IT Process over the summer, which is an add-on to it, but it is gonna help us with our equipment replacement. And it goes out and it finds warranty information for the equipment we have, tells us when the useful life is expired. It makes suggestions for it and helps us build budgets based on what we need for fiscal years and everything. So, yeah, it's been very helpful. Yeah, so if anyone else wants to come in, like I told Jeff earlier, we're happy to walk you through it.
Okay, any walk-on topics? All right, very good. So the next Friends meeting is October 9th. Karen is on deck, but has already negotiated a swap with Scott. And then we have our meeting October 22nd, but we look like we're gonna be doing it earlier with a different, non-traditional agenda. Is there anything else folks wanna bring up? All right, if not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Is there a second? Great. Let's vote. Laura?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Susan?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Amy?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Yes, we are adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Night all.
Good night.